Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. It's a beautiful morning. Top of the morning to you. Here is a Western Spring Television, and this is Morning Spring, where we look at issues in the public space and for the public good. This is what we do here every weekday. 7 a.m. is the time. And of course, we are very ready for you. We look at headlines from major dailies every day. And then at the other side of that, we then get to unpack, unravel so many things to you for the public good. If it's worth talking about, this is where you get to hear it. This is where you get to see it. Firstly, Femi Joe is my name. Yesterday we started a conversation about, a burning public issue which has to do with the allegation of genocide against Christians, persecutions against some Christians in Nigeria that has been heightened. It's more like a diplomatic tussle right now because the United States of America and the hierarchy, the president, Donald Trump, has been speaking tough about the perceived genocide in Nigeria and what the USA is going to do, and in which they have said they have authorized the necessary department, the War Department, to get set actually in Nigeria because they are going to kill, that's what they said, the Islamic jihadists in Nigeria. And so, Peter X said, the defense secretary has said, yes, sir, to Mr. President, we are ready. So it's more like just give the command. And many Nigerians are saying, what are you talking about? You mean you are going to invade Nigeria under whatever guise, without authorization, without invitation? Is that how it works in the global space? Actually, it's not like the country officially, has beckoned to you to say, come and help us. But Mr. President has been saying, this allegation is unfounded, in Nigeria, and he's going to work, by the way, Nigeria is going to work with the United States of America to make sure that peace returns to Nigeria. And, the media assistants to the president, spokespersons have been firing on all cylinders. Daniel Bwala is saying, one thing, issuing statement. Bayo Ononuga has been issuing statements. There is Temitope Ajayi issuing statement as well on behalf of the presidency, and that is where it is. But the crux of the matter is it happening? Have people been killed in Nigeria mercilessly? That's the question. Now, some are saying it doesn't matter if it's against Christians or traditionalists or Muslims or atheists or people who doesn't even believe in anything. Actually, everybody deserves to be alive in as much they are law-abiding. That's just the way it is. And some are saying, yes, there are issues. Muslims being killed, Christians being killed, people being killed in Nigeria. But then it seems there is a calculated attempt against some sections of the country in some particular communities in some states, that these cases must be isolated, and whatever is happening in Sokoto, in Kebbi, is different from what is happening in Zamfara. They have said Zamfara is about the minerals, it's about the gold, and that is different from the killings happening in Borno State and maybe Katsina. These are the issues as well. And when you talk about the North Central, killings are happening. Everybody knows. The president a few months ago went to Benue State, to Makodi, when that massacre happened in Yellowater. And many persons are still disappointed, Mr. President, today, that he didn't even go to those communities, especially Yellowater, that experienced that horrific massacre by these marauders. Actually, the president wasn't Benue, actually, after so much outcry. I think this must be stated. So much outcry. Actually, he went there and, had meetings with people they call stakeholders. With the tour chief spoke, the governor of Benue was there. Many persons were there in that particular room on that day where he was asking the service chiefs at the time, are there no arrests? He asked the IGP, do you mean there were no arrests that's been made? And the president, the IGP muted something, actually, and after that, it is what it is. And when he was asked, actually, or when people kept asking, why Mr. President didn't visit Yellowater, we learned it was because of bad roads or bad weather, either of the two. I just asking, excuse you? Humane people are in horrific conditions, and they are hurting and they are grieving because of what has befallen them. And what you could say is because the roads are bad. Whose actually duty is it to fix those roads? And whatever we take, even if it's by trekking, which I know cannot happen, but at least people are living in those communities. Now, if the roads are bad and the president cannot go there, so, and he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so which road will the armed forces use to get there as well? If everybody is giving these convenient blames and excuses, actually, and some might even say if the roads are bad, what happens to choppers? Is that not the reason you have choppers? Air Force grade choppers and helicopters? No, we cannot. And this is the arguments of some Nigerians, that we can't afford to be giving excuses and be giving excuses, and we keep forming, that's what they call it, that we are a sovereign nation. Nobody should talk to us. You know, everybody should handle their business. Yet your sovereignty is more or less looking like an excuse to be, pardon my words, irresponsible. Because that is what it is. Where are the arrests in yellow water, made from yellow water? Which people? Who are they? Are they being prosecuted at the moment? What is the level of the prosecution right now? These are the issues. How many persons have been arrested in Benue, in Plateau, where these Moriders are saying? And as the argument is on part to say the lethargic, the semi-lethargic nature of the people in power is what is fueling these narratives, because it is what it is, and it's ongoing, actually. And, you know, Mike Riley, a particular U.S. man, have been on the cases. In fact, Rabbi Musa Kwakwanso tweeted yesterday, actually, about this issue, was it 2 days ago, that, yes, there are challenges in Nigeria, but then Nigeria should not be thrown under the bus and all of those things, talking in a patriotic way. And one particular U.S. man, Mike Riley, quoted his tweet to say, Mr. Governor, you were once a governor in Kano State, and you operated with Sharia law, which persecuted, according to Mike Riley, some Christians. And here we are today. And he's saying, what's right is, as Rabbi Musa Kwankwan, so, you know, to talk about there is no religious persecution and all of those things. Mr. Peter Obi has waded into the matter as well to say we have so much to cleanse up in our land. So many persons have been talking on this matter, and here we are. We must be accountable, you know, not to hide under the guise of sovereignty. Yes, we're a sovereign nation, and Nigeria remains a sovereign nation. But, you know, this is what is happening right now. You deserve to know. And here we are on this matter. We'll go on a quick break right now. When we return, we'll let you know what the front pages of different papers look today. The conversation about the security and the angles we started yesterday. We're going to continue it today because this is on the front burner and you deserve to be a part of that. This, again, is Morning Spring. This is Femi Ojo. This is Western Spring Television. Stay with me. All right, we'll start the headline segment this morning, you know, from these and the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper is my first point of call. All right, there you go. And boldly reading, CPC blacklist 12 Nigerian governors. Other officials may face U.S. sanctions. 12 Nigerian governors, other officials may face U.S. sanctions. Right, with a rider to that saying, okay, I think, all right, not these. I think there is another. The Punch newspaper for today. All right, moving on. Let's quickly check the Vanguard then. The Vanguard newspaper. I apologize for that mix-up. The Vanguard newspaper has these. We'll return back to that punch, but first of all, let's look at the Vanguard newspaper. Yeah, there you go. Trump, NSA service chiefs meet. Trump, NSA service chiefs meet with Ryder as U.S. president intensifies threat. All right, and there you go. The picture of the meeting up there. NSA meets service chiefs. From left, you have the Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Idi Abbas, the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Lufemi Oluyeje, National Security Advisor, NSA, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, Chief of Army Staff, Major General Wahidi Shaibu, Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sunday Aneke, during a meeting of the service chiefs with the National Security Advisor in Abuja yesterday. And by the way, you could see the military man, of course, looking all firm, and it's the NSA that seems to be smiling, beaming with all joy there. And at this time, Nigerians would like to ask him exactly, Mr. NSA, what's funny actually? Well, what's the occasion? Well, because these are serious times, and you could see, interestingly, all the service chiefs looking firm, and it's only the NSA that's smiling. I would like to ask him, Mr. Nuhuri Badu, what's the occasion? What's funny? Actually, are we in that mood right now? Well, it is what it is. And with that bold headline, Trump, NSA service chiefs meet as the U.S. president intensifies threat, and are different riders. Actually, many of them to that headline. Let me take you one after the other. Ground operation. Airstrikes could be part of U.S. attack in Nigeria. Ground operations, airstrikes could be part of U.S. attack in Nigeria. Trump and Chad shuts borders with Nigeria. Chad shuts borders with Nigeria. All right. And, there were rumors that the Chadian government has shut its border with Nigeria because, yes, the rumors that maybe there are movement of bandits towards Chad, and the Chadian government has, declared that his borders be locked down so that nobody there enters, and all of those things, and even the space, I think there's space or thereabout. And here we are. U.S. designation consequence of incompetence would be U.S. designation consequence of incompetence will be, and Governor Adeleke seeks diplomatic solution. Governor Adeleke seeks diplomatic solution. Tinubu must not allow foreign military humanitarian intervention. Afenifere. Tinubu must not allow foreign military humanitarian intervention. That's from Afenifere. And ADC blames Tinubu for Nigeria's blacklisting. ADC blames Tinubu for Nigeria's blacklisting. And Trump's threat of military action could stoke more violence, erode investor confidence, export. Trump's threat of military action could stoke more violence and erode investor confidence, exports. All right, we'll look more into that today, because this is virtually the most important thing right now, how we are to put our acts together, and the threat of the U.S. against the Islamic jihadists in Nigeria. But then, is that the way it works? Especially under international laws, actually. And below that, to some politics at Bayelsa's governor's defection to APC. At Bayelsa's governor's defection to the All Progressives Congress, you can see the man, Doye Diri, with the flag of the All Progressives Congress, and he's surrounded by his governor brothers of the APC. I think the vice president is next to him. Then you see Jibrin Barrow, the deputy senate president. To his right, you have Governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State, and Peter Mbah, his fellow brothers in the APC. And Ogun State Governor Peter Mbah, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, Doye Diri, the new APC governor, newest rather, and his vice president Kashim Shettima, deputy senate president Jibrin Barrow, and Imo State Governor, and the APC Governors Forum chairman. They call them the Progressive Governors Forum, Senator Hope Uzodinma, during the formal defection and reception of Diri into the APC at the Samson CSCS Sports Complex. in Yenogwa yesterday. All right. And the man has said his reason for joining the APC is because of the people of Bielsa. So I think Bielsa should ask him how far in the next 6 months if actually he's for their best, actually, for the betterment of the good people of Bielsa State. Away from that, Obakiolu to Lagos government, your demolitions must have a human face. Obakiolu to Lagos government, your demolitions must have human face. All right, shake up as Navy redeploys 65 real admirals. Shake up as Navy redeploys 65 real admirals. And 2027, Ekiti State, after Ekiti rather, APC stakeholders more consensus option. 2027, after Ekiti, APC stakeholders more consensus option. And, a bottom strip here, or better still, top strip, pension fund investment in federal government securities rise 18.1% to 15.8 trillion naira. And Anambra, INEC vows enhanced resource management and credible poll. Anambra, INEC vows enhanced resource management and credible poll with rider IGP wants IPOP, ESN against disruptions. All right. And security men shot PDP secretariat amid escalating tensions. Who will save the People Democratic Party, the PDP, from these ABs? Actually, security men shot PDP secretariat amid escalating tensions, where some persons, NWC members, especially the secretary, has sacked the chairman, Mr. Damagum, and appointed another acting chairman instead. All right, away from that, anyhow, the fault federal government's welfare claims demands truth over fiction. NARD, that's the National Association of Resident Doctors, faulting the federal government's welfare claims, demanding truth over fiction. And from the human point still on the Vanguard for today, Mr. and Mrs. Couples call each other honey, but some don't know the full meaning. The man is the honeypot. All right, couples call each other honey. This is from Mr. But some don't know the full meaning. The man is the honeypot, right? And the response to that, obviously from the woman saying, and the woman? So if the man is the honeypot, what is the woman? And Mr. responds, the honey mop. Really? So if the man is the honeypot, the woman, according to the Mr., is the honey mop, mopping every available honey. Actually, interesting. The conversation between the Mr. and the Mrs. there. All right, I think we should go back to the Punch right now. The Punch for today, actually. All right. Again, all right, if the Punch is not punching it for today, let's see what the Daily Trust has for us. The Daily Trust newspaper. U.S. threat. What FG should do, diplomat. That is from the Daily Trust for today. U.S. threat. What federal government should do, diplomat. And we have conveyed our position, House of Reps. We have conveyed our position, House of Rep. All right. U.S. threat, what federal government should do, diplomat. We have conveyed our position, House of Reps. What is their position? You might want to see and have a copy of the Daily Trust to know their position. All right. There is a photo insert, some insert actually just below that, and it has to do with the supporters of the national supporters at the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party, PDB, in Abuja, as the party's national vice chairman, North Central Abdurrahman Mohammed, resumes office as factional national chairman yesterday. So much for supporters, because you see them with clubs, with sticks. Are they coming here to farm, or are they headsmen, or what are they? What kind of a support? Why are they holding sticks? Actually, Interesting takes. And you see the man there, on a desk, and of course, with his supporters holding sticks and clubs, to welcome the man or to protect the man. I didn't know which. All right. Pro-Wiki NWC faction takes over PDP secretariat. That's the headline to that effect. Pro-Wiki NWC faction takes over PDP secretariat. All right. And below that, pregnancy cases on the rise in Borno ID camps. Awkwardly interesting here. Pregnancy cases on the rise in Borno IDP camps. Why? Why is it on the rise? Are they that comfortable that, sensual and erotic pleasure is the order of the day there? Or there is more than meets the eye? We must know. Because these is supposed to be IDP, internally displaced persons. So, maybe there has been what some persons call genital meet and greet. Has it been consensual? That's one thing. Is it being forced? That's another thing. That should be interrogated as well. And Nigerian stocks shed 244.9 billion naira amid Trump's threat. Nigerian stocks shed 244.9 billion naira amid Trump's threat. Strike Tinubu others immediate resolution. Strike Tinubu others immediate resolution. All right. And top strip at 1,422 naira per dollar. Naira records highest gain in October. At 1,422 naira per dollar, Naira records highest gain in October. So much gain. All right. And parties, voters reject Niger local government poll, Bago's convoy attacked. Parties, voters reject Niger local government poll, Bago's convoy attacked again. Parties, voters reject Niger local government poll, Bago's convoy attacked. And 19 bandits killed in Kano as border attacks escalate. 19 bandits killed in Kano as border attacks escalate. We must do more. Kudos to those who have neutralized these ones, but it must not just be a one-off. We must trace them to their roots. That's the way it works, not just to repel. And let's give the punch a shot again. Okay. All right. Governors battle Wiki as PDP factions jostle for control. There you go. Finally, governors battle Wiki as PDP factions jostle for control. With Rider, police seal Pino, who is seeking re-election and Anambra, Charles Soludo, the ANEC boss, Professor Amupiton there with other stakeholders in that meeting, exchanging pleasantries and taking photos. And of course, the picture of security personnel is there as well. OPS, Labour reject 20,000 naira note. Organized private sector, Labour reject 20,000 naira note. Is that being planned? 20,000 naira note, a single note. Interesting. And NDLEA discovers a new cannabis variant. They call it California Loud in Lagos. NDLEA discovers a new cannabis variant, California Loud in Lagos. Okay, so much for these synthesized, what's it called now? Drugs, cannabis variant, California Loud. Okay, maybe the state of the U.S. in the U.S. are being picked one after the other. First it was Colorado, that's a place in the U.S., and now California. And the NDLEA is saying this is now available. People should be aware of what it is. All right, and no to drugs. By the way, we must say that it stands condemned because it's antisocial actually, and is anti-health. Just the way it is, it's inimical. Whatever pleasure is being gotten, it can really be deadly, fatal. Actually, that's what it can do to any human mind. Now, AMPP bloc sets tough terms to back Tinubu's 2027 bid. ANPP bloc sets tough terms to back Tinubu's 2027 bid. You want to know who has made up this bloc and what are the terms and maybe conditions for them to back Mr. President? Page 9 of the Punch may have answers to that. And moving on, fresh travel tax scheme worth $1 billion sparks protest. Fresh travel tax scheme worth $1 billion sparks protest. And you see the picture of the man in charge of the aviation and aerospace in Nigeria, Festus Kiyamo SAN, there. And just at the top of that, you have this Diri joins APC, tax PDP, sinking ship. Uh-oh. Diri joins APC, tax PDP, a sinking ship. Really? Just yesterday, the PDP is now a sinking ship to a governor, former governor, a former governor of the PDP, actually, who had, his first time as a governor of the PDP, into his second term, still, as a governor of the PDP. But yesterday, he shut that tour guys, now the APC, and PDP is now a sinking ship. The question is, how many of him or people like him, possibly have sunk or, put many holes in the ship of the PDP that made them to be what they are right now? But then it's the PDP's problem. The man has jumped ship to the APC. And who is going to save that sinking ship of these PDP right now? All right. And beside that, a burning issue, Tinubu moves to appoint new ambassadors amid U.S. tension. Tinubu moves to appoint new ambassadors amid U.S. tension. President meets Toga today. U.S. federal government officials deepen talks, all right, because that's one of the blames people have been apportioning to Mr. President. Why haven't you appointed substantive ambassadors into all of the nations? Nigeria doesn't have any substantive ambassador more than 2 years. In fact, since President Tinubu came in, that he has recalled all the ambassadors from those nations. We have not replaced them with substantive ambassadors. And many Nigerians are saying that is not done actually anywhere because, the Nigerian ambassador should even be the first point of call for these, this conversation that the U.S. have started, threatening, breathing fire and brimstone on the neck of Nigerians and people they call the Islamic jihadists. All right. And that will be all from the Punch and the headline segment for today. And now that you have been informed, now that you're being updated, now it's time for us to converse about the real state of the nation and these, the global dynamics to these with what we have on our hands. The issue of insecurity on one hand, the allegation of persecutions of Christians and killings, if I had to call it genocide in Nigeria, the intervention, supposed intervention of the U.S. on this matter that is coming with so much threat, and the response of the Nigerian government to the issue within and the issue from outside. We'll look into all of that. We started it yesterday. We continue it today, and you have so much, to contribute to these issues. Just log on to your Facebook page and follow us, follow the conversation because we are live at Western Spring Television on Facebook, the Blue app, and of course on our YouTube channel. We are there at Western Spring Television NJ. Go to the comment section and tell us what you think about these issues. How should it be handled? What do you think the U.S. is doing right now? Have we really managed our affairs the way we are supposed to manage it? Because this is your nation, this is my nation. It must not fall. And so that it will not fall, we have to talk about it and we have to take responsibility. Stay with me.